Hi, this is Lois with Lois Keepsakes and Creation. I wanted to give you guys a little project share, and it is that I took a composition book and I turned it into an ocean theme shabby journal. So I have two sizes here. I have a smaller size that I cut down, and I also have a larger size that I did not cut down. So if you want to see how we got to this, just stick around and I'll show you how. Okay, you guys, let's see how far you got. I got pretty far. I got all my pages glued down. Now, what I will show you is something that I did additionally, is that I colored all of my pages. Now, I used Distress Oxide, the Mermaid Lagoon, but you guys, you can simply do this with a highlighter if you don't have these. So just keep that in mind. But I distressed the outside pages is because I really do like that. It gives like a gilding effect to the side edges of your paper. So I really do love it. But yeah, so I've got pretty far. I got all of my pages in. So that would be December, and that's the back, and then this is the front here too as well. Now, all I did was put some double-sided tape here. This is just for extra security, but we're gonna glue this all up once we're ready to put our panels on. So if you have this already and you follow along, and we did the stitching of our laminated cover to the backing of material. Well, what I'm going to do before we glue it down to our book is first I need to add a closure. So what I chose is this right here, because this was on the big closure right here. So this is on the big closure. And what we're going to do is we're going to secure it to our book, and we're going to use little things to attach it. And then also too, we got to put our plate on too, so that'll be hid in our book. So I've got a couple of things to do. Painted mine already. Sorry, I'm talking to you with my voice to the back side of you. Alright, so I got that done with the painting, and I'm going to have to pull out the little brads that will go in here, and the brads that will hold our tie closure. So, and I also went on ahead and I pulled out this lace again, because we're going to sew this lace on top of our panel here to give us an edge. So that'll be sewed right here on the edge of your laminated sheet. Okay, so that kind of puts a bumper against these little corners right here. So you won't feel those corners anymore once you put your little lace edged on. And then also too, I went on ahead and I got this material back out again. I really do like it. It adds a lot of character to the book. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on my spine here on this before we even add it to the book. So we're going to do that part, and we're going to probably basically attach this down with either hot glue, or we could do sew. You could sew it if you want, but I don't want to sew over the flowers because my thread would show through. So I don't want to do that, but we do want to assemble it first before we put it onto our book. So we want to get all of our hardware done, and then we also want to get our lace sewed on too as well, and then also to attach our closure. So what I'm going to work on first is, you see I've got my sewing machine out here. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and get the sewing done first before I add anything else, because I don't want any of the hardware being a problem as I'm trying to get this sewed on. So, and all we need to do is just pick out just the right amount of closure that you want. Some people say from fingertip to elbow. That's always a good start, and that does look like a good start. So we'll just do that. I'm going to cut these off. I like this material. It's I don't know if you guys remember me talking about it, but it's the tie that you would put on aprons. So I remember in waitressing that they never really got tangled up. So it was just the way the material was. So, and if you had seen that in my last journal, in my last previous journals, that they always knotted up. So I'm going to try this year, and we're going to see how this is going to work. Alright, so what I want to do is I need to turn my hot glue gun on, because I'm going to have to use that to place my ribbons, so I make sure my ribbon doesn't slip out of the way. So, but we're going to get the hardware for that and the hardware for this, and we're going to sew this on. So let's do this first. Turn this inside out, and we'll just start with one to be our center. What I like to do is just add tape, because we're going to be sewing our ribbon on the top, as well as we'll be catching this right here to sew. And I like to put in like maybe 1.5 inches, and we're just going to simply tape that down. No biggie. And don't put your tape where you're holding it temporarily. Don't put it too close to the edge. Alright, so we'll do that one. And all I do is just do it just like this. Oops. Go right here. Make sure my edges are lined up, and I'm going to pick up my cover and line it with that, and then flip over and tape it down. Make sure I get in there just a little bit. And do just like that. That's all we want. Alright, make sure these line up. And they do. They line up perfect. Alright, so now what we need to do is put our lace on the outside. Our lace trim. So, and I'm just going to measure. I can always give a little bit, I can give a lot. Let me just straighten this up real quick. I'm going to put it right here. And this is kind of like a stretchy lace. I've had this lace, y'all, for years. When I was back in the day of collecting everything for junk journals. So, I don't know where I've got the lace. It was just part of my stash. But gotta use up all our stash, right? So, and using my Cricut for something like this, I'm using up my stash because I very seldom ever go into my machines, vinyls, or anything. I feel like I make a mistake. So, but I'm using them up this year. So, alright, so we're gonna have that placed about right there. Waiting for my hot glue. But I hope everybody is doing well. Sorry, I gotta get some my iced coffee. Yummy, yummy. It is so super cold outside. We got a lot of rain last night, but didn't get snow. So it never winded up snowing last night. But up in the higher, up outside, it's kind of sleet, icy sleet. So, but it's not snowing. So, thank goodness. I don't know. I like I said before, we haven't had snow in like 3 years. Alright, so all I'm going to do is, I don't want to put this glue on this thread too much because my needle's going to go through. So I'm just kind of lightly tacking it down. Just like that. I mean, if you could have seen the little piece of glue I used to tack it down. So, very little. And then all I want to do is kind of keep placing it because as I'm sewing, it has a tendency of sliding on the laminate. So that's why I go ahead and, you know, put it in position where it needs to be. So just a little bit of glue. I'm just dazzling it like I would with regular glue. And you ask, well, why don't you just use your regular glue from like Fabri-Tac or PVA glue? Because I want to sew right now. That's the only reason. I don't want to wait for glue. I just want to sew right now. That's all. So there's no big difference. If you want to use your regular glue on this and adhere it down just to temporarily put it there, by all means, do what you do. You. That's what I tell my grandsons all the time. You do you. You know? I made like a tablespoon of butter and he made like a teaspoon of butter. You do you. That's what I just say. So there it is. So it's tacked down. And so we got to make sure that when we sew, that we sew right on top of your seam rail. That's what I call that, a seam rail. So you want to make sure that you're sewing right down there. And then when you get to this part, just make sure that you hold your tie closure out so it doesn't bunch up underneath you. I got some little glue strings. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start sewing it. Now, I know you guys can't see, but you could possibly get the gist of it, of what I'm doing. But before I do that, I just realized I need to change the foot on my sewing machine. So let me do that real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I got it going on. Alright, all I'm going to do is just lay my needle down, position it, and then put my needle down. I'm going to run this on number 1 stitch, just because it moves the needle in the middle of my guide here on my foot. So I'm sewing with number 1. Now I go a few stitches. Hang on, let me get back to that one. No. Oh, come on. There. Okay. Hang tight. I'm getting there. Put your needle down. Okay. I want to go backwards because I want to make sure that my stitch doesn't come out. Let's speed this up a little bit. Alright. We're almost there to our tie closure. See there, if I didn't catch it, would have sewed it crooked. So you want to make sure that it's nice and flat. And if you want to go back over that area, go back over. As long as you're in 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, you can go forward and go backwards. But if you get into all your other designing stitches, you can't go backwards. It just won't work. I don't know. My machine, it won't work. Okay. Alright. Excuse me, sorry. You get to the end, just make sure you back up just a little bit and then run your thread through. Lift up your needle. And then cut off your trim. Make sure I get all my threads. Or you could keep the threads. You can make it all shabby if you want. Whatever you want to do. I got one right there. Alright, there we go. So it's all sewed on. Give it a little take, don't worry about that. But here you go. It was in my blooper videos, the tensioner. It was just awful, y'all. But anyway, so here we go. We're going to go over to the other side. And we're going to sew the lace down on this one. And then measure out your lace. If you like more, you like less, whatever you decide. Make it longer if you want. Alright, and with the hot glue, excuse me, with the hot glue, I'm just going to go right here and kind of lightly tack it down. Lightly. Put it right there on the edge. Okay. Now this has a little bit of elastic to it, so I don't want to pull it too tight. Alright. I mean, I'm sure you could use what other measures to tack this down. You can use clips too as well. But I just want to use the hot glue. Alright. Let's cut this a little bit. See, I went to edge. So we'll do the same here for this one. Make sure everything looks good before we go to the sewing machine. Alright, so my needle up, needle down, and then I go a couple of times, and then I back it up, and then I go forward. Because, you know, I have seen it where a lot of things that I've done, if I didn't back stitch, I've had to learn along the way because some of my stitching has come undone. So now I learn, and yeah, just move forward. So just take your time. I gotta tell you guys, I'm sitting in a, how do you want to say it? It's a desk, like a lab office desk that goes up really high. Well, when my husband built my table, it came out a little too high. So we have this lab table, and so that's why you hear the squeaking. But anyway, so I had to accommodate for the foot pedal. So, because I'm having to be rose up so high I can't reach the foot pedal, well, guess what? I use it with my hand. That's all I do, is I just place it right here, and me, the needle, and the other lefty on my hand, we work together and we get it done. So I've got no problem using it with my hand. It doesn't, at first I was like, okay, I don't think this is gonna work. It's kind of awkward. But then I got to thinking, I was like, it's just so convenient because I'm so far up the chair. So I've just accommodated. So now I just work with my hand. I've looked on like Amazon and places like that might have something similar, but I have still yet to have found it. So what I'm doing is making sure these little ruffles at the end stay in their place. Okay, now I need to go backwards. Y'all probably think I'm crazy to do it like this, but it seemed to have worked. You probably have seen the only crafter that uses the foot pedal for her hand. So, but alright, so we did much better on this side. So no more tension problems. That was a nightmare. Broken needle, bunched up, all kinds of junk up here with thread. But see here, look, it is perfect. So if y'all want to know, my attention is on 3. I'm not messing with it. Alright, so we got that all sewed on there, so that's pretty good and tight, y'all. I mean, it's not going nowhere. And then once you put the glue on, you know, then that'll be perfect too as well. Alright, so what we can do now is work on our hardware. Gotta get that in. I do want to put some right here. You can put a button here if you want, or a button over here. Whatever you want to do. Or you don't have to put nothing at all. So, and you can just have it with the hardware, you know. And if you don't have these hardwares, you can simply just make your own. I mean, by now you've got plenty of pieces that you can make a little square and put 2025 in there if you wanted to. You know, it's your journal. You do you. So, alright, so now we need to get a piece to glue this down. Make sure. I'm going to go from flower to flower. This barely fits on this 1-inch gap. So let's go right here. We're going to go up and around this other flower. Might make it interesting. Have something like that. You know, something interesting like that poking out. But I think what I did on the other one is I went on ahead and I cut around the flower. There we go. Just cut up and around that flower. And the other one's the same way too as well. So you could either, you know, flip it around, whatever you guys got. It would be, I know you don't have this, probably this trim, but I wanted to show you guys, you can also use, in which I almost started to use for this one, but I didn't want to, is because it was going to be different than what I showed you in the other journal, the bigger one. But what I decided was, well, in the very beginning, I was thinking about going with this. See, I already cut it to its size. I was thinking about going with this one instead, and you know, sew that on there, and however that would look pretty. That would bring out a lot of the green. But, you know, then I had this, of course, and when you kind of put it like this, you know, it kind of looks really nice. I don't know. You know, if this would have been just a tad bit bluer, I think I would have went with it. But the majority of my paper, like the edging and stuff like that, is all blue. And I just find that this is just a little bit too teal. Matter of fact, I don't even think it needs to be in this blue bucket. So I've got a teal bucket, so, but I would think that it would be better in a teal. So, but that's what I got so far. And alright, so sorry about the squeaky chair. I'm sorry. Hopefully by the end of the night that I'll have it fixed. I'm sorry, you guys, but I'm trying to get this recording done so we can get to writing in our journal, right? So it's time to get to journaling. You know, I've put this recording off and put it off. So, but today we're getting it done. Alright, so let's think about how we want to tack this down. Now, of course, we've got to tack it down. We can tack it down with some hot glue if you want to, but I find that if you use a fabric tack glue right here and glue this down, and then on the sides where my material's coming up, I'm going to attach it with the hot glue gun, because that's how I did it with this one. Is I fabric tacked it down this way, and then once it was dry and pretty good and flat, then I came along here and I just went up and added hot glue to attach those down, so those are not coming up. And I guess, of course, I could have went in there and sewed back over that, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to mess up the flowers. So, but yeah, so that's what we're fixing to do right now. So, and then we got to get the little hardware for our stuff. So, I hope you guys are super excited. My battery is flashing, so what I'm going to do is just get this glued down real good and strong. If the glue starts coming up through your material, just blot it with some paper towels and stuff, but make sure that you have a protected surface underneath, because that glue is going to go through. For me, my glue on my material is going to go through this, and it's also going to seep through a little bit of this. So you want to keep that in mind, that you might want to choose material that but you want to choose you know, good glue to tack this down. So whatever you feel comfortable with, that you know that's not going to come up. I think that that's important with the hot glue, is to make sure it gets on the sides, because that's what's going to be shoved in and out, is going to be this that's going to get, you know, a little bothered from being shoved here and there or whatever. So, but we just want to make sure that we get it glued and all that stuff, and that it's nice and dry. And then once it's nice and dry, I'm gonna put my cover on with you guys. So, and I'm gonna also show you how to do the hardware too as well. But I gotta go because my battery is dying. So let me get that real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the fabric tack. I put it on there real good. You want to make sure that you get plenty of it covered, and you're just going to work your fabric all the way down. Now you can have that flower sticking up if you want. Well, I am. just gonna put it down just like this. Making sure that gets good contact with that glue. Let's turn it over. Let me get my bone folder, because like I told you, Fabri-Tac will come through on most occasions, some occasions, but because I am a very gluey person, I get glue everywhere. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick up little layers and I'm going to start using my hot glue gun. Okay, y'all, I winded up digging out my stamp set that I have. And when I went through and cut down all my papers, I winded up with all of this. Look how cool all of this is. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably make this into like a little notepad or something, that as what I'm doing right here, that I can scratch on here at my desk. So yeah, so that's what I'll do with all the leftover paper. So how I managed to get this, or to that, is what I did is I just cut myself a piece of paper, and all I did was lay one corner in, and then I just ran my finger around and just kind of pressing the paper, and then you get that impression. Let's see if it'll work. There it goes. Somewhat, you see, but anyway, you get an impression. So you wind up just cutting out what you like. And then the side. And then you just kind of work yourself to where it's going to lay flat and no problem. But this one's too big. So, but I like this one right here. So I got these little bitty stamps. I'm sure these come off of Temu. I'm sure. But anyway, I don't use them because they're tiny, but I would like to use them later. Then I have lowercase alphabets here too as well. I got those. And I store mine upside down because I can't see what they are. And then I have these right here. I've got those too as well. Those are pretty cool. But, however, they do not have the numbers in them. So, we will stamp 2025 with this little stamp collection I got off of Amazon. Globlin, and it says 8x3 by 5x8 scrapbooking decor. So, but if I could find this in my reorders, I'll link it down below too as well. So, this one I like is because it actually has all the numbers all the way to 31. So if you wanted to just individually punch, you know, the day, I mean, that's pretty cool. So I like that. But I'm going to use it for 2025. And where's my 20? There it is. And we're just going to put those on there. Make sure we get them where I say that they say 2025. And I'm just going to line this up on my thing. Sorry guys, I pulled it towards me so I could see. And that one. I'm babying a finger. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I remember, don't put them together. If you have the stamp set, just stamp out 20 first and then put 25 on. And, you know. Alright, so. Let's put this over here. I'm running out of desk room because there are things on my desk that don't normally be here. I got a big desk, but I like to work in big area. Don't need our Fabri-Tac anymore. liquid gold that stuff is. Alright, so what I got here is 20. So let's stamp 20 first. Lightly pat it and keep looking at it. Now some people say stamp off then stamp on, but I'm just going to go ahead and stamp on. And sorry for the jingle bells. That's my little doggies. Okay, so there goes 20. Now to clean your little things here, I found it easier just to stamp on a piece of paper. Of course, I do rub them with alcohol to get them really, really cleaned. Alright, let's see what we can do if we can get this go on straight. I think my little pitter-patters are saying that they want to go out. So we will see. Alright. Wonder if they'll wait till after this book is done. Alright, guys. That looks awesome. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, and if you want to know how I made this, this is the ink storage unit, desk unit. I do a lot of creativity with my decor, and I love pretty things around me, as most of you guys all do. But I designed this, and you can get this over at my Ko-fi shop. And if you would so kindly as to do a little small donation, that would be very awesome. But I do have it free in my Ko-fi shop, so you're welcome to go and download the PDF. I do have a YouTube video made only for making that, and I show you the process on how to make that if you like. So, but yes, so I'll leave that link down below too for you as well. Alright, so, oh, you know what? We didn't do the tabs for the months yet. Oh, yes, keep that out because we have to do the tabs. So, but you won't see the process of me stamping and coloring and doing all that jazz, but I'll make sure to show you exactly where they go and how I winded up doing them. Alright, so what I like to do is just take a little bit of glue and add on the inside. And of course, you know, those monthly tabs, you guys, you don't have to put those monthly tabs on there. You can just simply write anywhere you want to make sure it says January, February, March, or you don't have to do it at all. So I always keep pulling towards me, you guys. I apologize. So I apologize. I tell my husband all the time I need new glasses. I can't see far away. So let's put this on. There we go. Just like that. And then we're going to place it right over here where we need to put in our little clasp. Our little swing arm clasp. I'm trying not to move this all over the place because it's got glue on the back side. Alright, flip it over. And just pull the prongs. You want to split them. You don't want to pull the prongs just one way. You want to split them because that gives you more stability, that it's not going nowhere. Now, at this point in time, we could go ahead and possibly add some glue. I could have added a little bit of hot glue to this, but I didn't want it to seep through. So, let's just add... I'm going to just go ahead and add a little bit of PVA glue. And I'm just going to do it like about right here. Just like that. That is so lazy. I know it is. I should have put the glue on it before I put it on my book. But I was afraid to get glue everywhere. Alright, so come on. Things are a lot easier without nails, right? Especially if you're not chasing it. Okay, there you go. Flip it over. And pull the prongs apart. Just like that. Okay, now if you want to, at this point in time, you can add some tape to it, which I think I'm going to, because I don't want it to come apart on me. So I'm just going to add a piece of tape from here to there. I probably shouldn't have added as much tape. So, where's my scissors? Okay. Alright. So, there we go. Looking good. I like that. Isn't that cool? And it still has a little bit of the shimmer on it, because I cut it off of these piece of papers. And I guess you could have used cardstock if you wanted to, but how about that? Is that not cool or what? 2025. There we go. Got a little shine to it. And the buttons are on. Everything looks all good back here in the back. So I think we're ready to put this on. What do you guys think? I think I am. Alright, so how I'm going to do this to begin with is, first of all, I need to get my spine on first. So I need to work with the glue to a certain area to about right here. Now I want to make sure that glue gets really good in contact on the outside of your spine here. Okay? And then once that's like that, glued, then we need to make sure to pull this up all the way tight, even if you got to put a piece of clamp right there, all the way tight, and get that glue to work down. Okay, and that's gonna dry really, really nice. Okay, and then once you got that where you've got it semi that it's not moving anywhere, then you come in here and we're going to add glue to the top of the cover that goes on. Okay, so with that doing, we'll go ahead and just get started with this. Now, let's put this out of the way, and I don't want that glue. I don't need scissors no more. I think I'm dwindling down to very little supplies to use. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fabric tack. Now I use this stuff to put on the trim, so I'm going to use this to put onto the book. Now I don't have very much left in this glue. It is oozy. It is a big pain right now, but it's still working. And I got very, very little left too. I hate it, but it's so expensive. This little 4-ounce bottle costs $9. I mean, and I can use one of these bottles per journal if I wanted to. I mean, they're just expensive. So I've tried to get myself to where I am using more PBA glue. So, see here, I'm already getting low. But I wanted to make sure that this spine is good and glued down. See, it's just, I'm not going to get any more out of that. Maybe. Yeah, it's not going to work anymore. Okay. And I could probably just use acetone to loosen up the rest of it, but I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to use my clear glue. If I can get it open. Everything down here changes temperatures, because when I'm out of the room, I don't run the heat in here because I think it's just way too wasteful. So So everything changes. So I'll come in the morning and my art glitter glue won't work. You know, things of that sort. But alright, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to go ahead and attempt putting glue all the way around. Because I know that this is going to be outside edge. So make sure that you don't go too much farther over. I'm just going to go ahead and ooze the glue all over this. Because you got to make sure this thing lasts for a whole year. So every time you're going in and out of all kinds of stuff, you know, it becomes wear and tear on your journals. So, you know, you try and make the best of it before you even get creative in it. So if you have to you know, do a little extra work to make sure that it's gonna stay, I'll do a little extra work. So that's the way I'll look at it. So alright, so I put a little bit, like I said, that double-sided tape up on the top around the edges, and this is not to hold the book, but it is to reassure that I get good contact with the book. I am loving the lay flat on this journal. I really am. And I think I just undid the top. I bet you I did. I just undid the top. So I'm working on the bottom. How'd that work out for me? Alright, so might as well just go ahead and put this in place. What a big boo-boo. Hang on. Let me pull this. There's more bloopers, right? More bloopers. But that's okay, because we can still flip that other cover up and glue, because this is not going to be holding it permanent. Just a temporary fix. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull this tape off because, well, no, I'm going to leave that there. I'm just kind of smoothing out those bubbles. Okay, just smoothing them out. And I know I just did that with my pokey tool. And I'm going to take my cover. I need to place this in the center. Just like that. Bring this up. Alright guys, I think we got it. So what I want to do is I want to put some clamps on these because I want to make sure that stays nice and tight. Nice and tight. Alright, and it's going to fold just perfectly. Perfectly. Making sure we work towards that spine and get it really nice, good and flat around those edges. So we want it to fold really, really nice, and it's going to. We just have to work in all of this glue. Alright, so I think we'll just leave it at that. That looks really, really, really good. I love it, you guys. Beautiful. It laid on there very nicely. And not only that, it gives plenty of room for your journal to lay flat. I love it. Love it. So, I'm really happy with it. So, now what we have, look at that. Is that not awesome? First page. Lay flat. I love it. No more bulk. I was so sick of the bulk that I had put in my journal last year, and this year I said I'm not going to do it more. I would like more comfort of writing than I would to be fighting with my journal. So that's what I'm going to do. It looks so pretty, y'all. I love it. And it folds beautifully. We don't have to worry about it coming out of the book. You can just simply tie a little bow like you're tying your little ribbon. And there you go. So, yeah. So, I'll come back after it dries. And I'll go ahead and put the tabs on. So, we'll go from there. Yes. So, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll be back in a little bit. Just close up the video. Okay, you guys, I've got little 1-inch strips here. They measure about 7.5, but they're 1 inch. I don't care about the length. But so what I did is I just took, I'm going to use this type of blue right here. And I'm going to use it so I can stamp my months on it, if you can see that. So that way, and I thought 2 inches would be good enough, so that way I can fit in the long words. So that's what I've done. So just scored them with that, and then we're just going to cut these down. If you want to know what the name of this cutter is, it's a Fiskars. It's a 4 1/4 cutter. So, but I just use it for small jobs. I guess, you know, in card world, card making, this is a very popular cutter. So, but I just use it to cut these little strips. So let's see how many we have. Make sure we have 12 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, cut us 6 more. Without the dog barking, hopefully. No. So, there's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so we are going to fold these in half. Alright, I'm going to stamp January on all of my, well, I'm going to stamp the months on all of my tabs and get those stamped. And then what I want to do is corner round them so they're not so square. So I'll just corner round those, and then we'll get ready to stick these down. So I'm going to do the messy work, get everything stamped and stuff, and then I'm going to go wash my hands and put our little things on our book. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I've got my tabs already stamped. I've already done that, and I decided I wanted to play around with my watercolors again. So all I did was just take and I splattered each one of them to just give it a little bit of texture. So, but yes, so we're gonna put these on our months, and you have to excuse my hands, they're really, really dirty. That's because I just got done doing that. So this dried really well. I love it. It did very nicely. The cover's on, real beautiful. I like it. Oh, sorry, I had it away from the camera, but look at that. Is that not awesome? You get all that decoration, you get all that inspiration, and it's still flat, you know, and that's what I wanted to achieve this year. So, with that being said, I'm going to start with January. Now, I've decided you can do these tabs any way that you want to do them. You can put them all the way down if you want, or you can rise them, whatever you want to do. That's entirely up to you. And you can also have it starting January back here or anywhere else you want to. I opt out on doing the sides. I mean, that could be fine if you wanted to do it to the side. Then that way the tabs are not appending anything for closure. So yeah, so I guess we could either do it on the side, or I don't know. I like that. What do y'all think? Y'all like that? Let me color the top of this page. It's driving me crazy. Okay. But I don't know. Do I want them up there or down here on the side so we can see them all? How about we do that? How about we just start here on the side, and I'm going to use my art glitter glue, if this will work. Let's see. I'm running low. So all you wanted to do, oh, and I meant to tell you guys, I also corner punched them, and when they're folded is when you want to corner punch them, and they kind of look like that, like a little fan, you know, that's got little holes on the side. But we're just going to go ahead and use glue, and we're just going to do the glue on the front and as well as the back. Try to anyway. And then all you're going to do is just pick up your January page. Make sure you got no other pages. And I'm just going to simply put it right there. That's where it's going to stay. Now we got February. Let's see, where's February? Here's February. So we could do it like this. When we get to February, look at that, what I tell you. I said make sure you don't grab any other paper. Oh no, get off. Oh man, what a mess. So there you go, guys. It's a live boo-boo. I knew better. I even said it in the camera, didn't I? I'm just going to fold it on back because that's... Oh man, what a mess. But you know what? I'll fix it because we'll do something decorative on that page right there. So, lesson learned, right? Now we're good. Now I just got to fix that boo-boo. Okay, so let's go to February, which is right here. And usually what I like to do is, let me get February's page. These pages are soft. Let me tell you, they're very, very soft. Happy journalist in this book, let me tell you. So what I like to do is just take like January and February. I kind of figure out, do I want it to start right there? So that way I can have a short descending of my months. So I usually do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it for this one. And I'm going to keep it right there. Make sure we don't have any other papers. And that's going to go right there. Obviously, I can't hold and glue at the same time because that's just my... I don't know what it is. As soon as I turn on the camera, I get bloopers. Always bloopers. But when I'm crafting alone, all by myself, I don't get these bloopers. But anyway, it is what it is, right? Isn't that beautiful? I am loving this ocean theme. I am. I cannot wait, you guys, to get into my new journal. I am itching to write a lot of stuff. Alright, so January, February, March. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of this off camera because I guess you guys don't need to see that. But anyway, so let me finish doing all of that. And yeah, I think we'll be done with it by putting the months on. And what I'm going to do is just clean up my area here and get this off and come back and we'll finish up the video for our shabby journal, huh? So, but anyway, I'll be right back in YouTube world. 2 seconds. Okay, guys, I got it all finished. So, I had all my tabs. I glued them all in. So, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a walkthrough of this one. I'm not done with this one. I do want to add some stuff to it, but I do want to show you what it looks like so far. Now, I did go ahead and I laminated this, and I put some little journal prompts there, you know, something that you could maybe journal about, but it goes underneath your paper like so you can write and have stability. So that's what that is. So I went on ahead and did one for this one, and it's in the back. It looks like that. So I went on ahead and I did all of the tabs like I said I was gonna do. Didn't they turn out pretty cool? Like January, well, February, March, April. So you get the gist of it. So it went all the way through to December. So yeah, so that turned out really cool. I like that. I really do. So yeah, lots of paper. So, but I do want to tell you, I want to give you a little hint. One of my viewers had asked a question. She writes daily, but she says that she feels like there's not enough paper. You know, 8 pages per month. And I would totally agree with her. She felt that way. Well, I found a little trick, and I'll show you guys my little trick. So, I'll move some stuff out of the way. I got things everywhere. Okay. Alright, so, to show you a little trick about this. Alright, first you'll want to cut down your paper to the same size as the book. And if you're one of those people that you feel like you need to put it line to line, then go ahead and do that. Okay, and then I would just cut this down. Now, what I did is I took my art glitter glue, and it did work because I practiced it on another journal. So, but I won't do it to this one because I don't want to mess up this one. But what I did is I took my art glitter glue and I just simply went down with a thin bead of glue. I mean, just like drop here, drop there, or whatever. And then what I did is I then took one page that was attached together with a spine. Then I would take and I would put it right there on its line, open it up, and then make sure you rock it into its place, and then just pinch it. And then once you do that, then it's then going to be glued down into your book. So I just wanted to give you a little tip if you wanted to add, you know, more pages per month or something like that. You know, you could do that. So, but that was a little tip. So, but yeah, it turned out really, really pretty. I'm very excited about it. I want to do some more stuff to it. And this one's going to be mine for 2025. And I've already done this, which this one goes with this. Okay, just like that. And then this one right here. This is what I'm wanting to do to the next journal. To this one right here. And that'll be in another video. I want to go through and start doing some Franken pages in this journal, and I think it'll turn out really pretty. So, but yeah, so I'm so super excited. I can't wait to get to writing on this. I feel like this is a big journal, and I think I'll have lots and lots of room. Like I said, you could do the same thing with this one. You just put it, you know, little drops, and then add in another piece, and then now you've got more for that month if you want to. But you know, the sky is the limit with these things, you guys. You could make these not only in a 12-month calendar, I mean a 12-month journal, but you can also do it for like all kinds of things, recipes. You could do it as a friendship journal or something like that. I mean, the sky's the limit. You know, recipes, like I said, workouts, your planning. I mean, you could do just about anything with these composition books. And they're economical to get. And if you don't want to cut down any of them, just do what I did for as far as the big one is concerned. But if you do then want to cut it down, well, then you prefer your own size. That's up to you. And I think what this one was like an inch off top, inch off the side. So that's what I did for that one. So, but yeah, so let me know what your thoughts are, and if you like it. Maybe it might be too much for you to do or whatever, but you know, the sky's the limit, and what I'm trying to teach is the creativity that you can do from just something like this, and then just pulling out some digital papers or some lace or something like that, you know. Start using up your stash, you know, use your designer papers in here. But like what I said, that the designer paper is a bit thicker. So just be cautious of that. So whatever, how much you're putting in here, put it up here first and then see if you're going to get a really big alligator mouth. So if you do, just, excuse me, if you do, just be cautious of that because it will make it big and chunky. Like I did my last journal for 2024. So, but anyway, so just let me know what your thoughts are, and give me a thumbs up, and please do subscribe to my channel. I am probably about 95 people away from 1,000, and I really want to try meet that goal this year. So, but you got to tell me what you like. Is this something that you would do? I mean, leave me a comment below. And also too, don't forget to click the more section so you can get a description of all of the stuff that I used, and I'll try and give links for them. But I'm definitely going to give you the link to Katie's shop over there, where she gives you all these digitals in her Ko-fi shop, and her name, the Ko-fi shop's name is Paperomia, I think that's how you say it. But go over there and pull up this one right here, and get it downloaded. Follow me, you know, show me your progress. So, but don't forget to go over to my Facebook group, which is Lowe's Keepsakes and Creation. I would love to have you over there, as I'm always sharing different things, and I love our group. We're very supportive over there, so don't forget to go over there and say hello. But anyway, yeah, so give me a thumbs up and let me know what you think, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.